Sagittarius, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Sagittarius love reading. Today we are going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. This is a timeless reading, so whether this is going to describe something that's happening for you currently or something from your recent past that you're still healing from, this reading is finding you now for a reason. So let's get started. Let's get one card for what's the mutual point of interest between Sagittarius and their romantic person of interest. Okay. Explosion. We're going to take two. No problem. What is going on with you, Sagittarius? What's going on with Sagittarius as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them? Let's get one more, please. All right. Thank you. All right, what is going on with your person? What's going on with Sagittarius's romantic person interest as it relates to Sagittarius and the connection between the two of them? Okay, we're taking an extra one here at the end. Notice how that worked. All your cards shot out, and then I got to go in and dig things out for them because they don't want stuff to come out. That makes perfect sense based on what I'm seeing now. Make sure that's all of it here. Oh, buckle up. We're in for a good one, I would say. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading, Four of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This is about not being fully emotionally happy or content with what's right here in front of you. So much so that there's daydreaming going on about this other cup, this other thing that I believe would lead me to my happiness and my fulfillment if I only had that, but I don't have it. So this is about not being fully happy. It's interesting because the person's not happy with three cups, and the three cups is energy that's about like being united and celebrating. So it's like almost like I'm not happy with being together, and there's this other cup of love that's on my mind here. Getting way ahead of myself, but that cup is out here central in your person's energy. So like I said, buckle up. Below the surface of that, we have the Four of Swords. So I have two fours in a row. Fours are stability energy. This is Libra energy. It's like taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break. It's about going inside yourself to do some thinking, to try to figure something out, going inside yourself to do some healing. It's a four, which is this, like I said, a stability energy, and it's a sword energy. So it's about the mind, the thoughts. So this is stabilizing the thoughts, stabilizing the thinking, stabilizing the mind, trying to calm the mind down. I get this card a lot when someone has been in the Eight of Swords or the Nine of Swords and they've been overthinking something, doing too much thinking. And this is usually instructions to like just calm down because you're thinking too much, and now there's too much noise and chatter in your mind, and it's really hard to hear your internal guidance system with all that noise going on. Below the surface of that, I have the Seven of Wands. This is Leo energy. This is defensive energy. This is about defending my position or my stance on something, being willing to fight to protect or defend something that's important to me, something that I believe in, something that I want, something I have desire for, some defensiveness. So this can sometimes be an energy of wanting to fight for the connection still, even though I'm not happy and there's a break or a pause in this, or maybe I'm overthinking something and I need to calm down. This can sometimes be someone's defensiveness, like defending against accusations of some kind. Hard to tell at this point. I will come back to that as we move along, but that's the overall gist of what it looks like this one's going to talk to me about. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way. Doesn't always affect you the same way. Sometimes they do this and you feel the consequences, or vice versa. Sometimes they'll say or do something and it puts you in this state, or vice versa. This mutual point of interest, we got two instead of one. We got the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Queen of Wands, this could be your energy. It's a fire sign type of an energy here. This is usually Aries or Leo energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what they want. They normally don't take no for an answer. For some reason, I'm not feeling like this is you already. This is, in the negative sense, this can be a drama queen. Also in the negative sense, like I get this card a lot as the other woman. It's the fire element queen. In other words, the hot queen, the one that there's attraction to and passion and desire for and sexual energy aimed at. A lot of times this ends up being the other woman. I get 10 of Swords here with that. This is Gemini energy of a swift, painful ending. Sometimes this is an ending you don't see coming, which is why the swords end up in your back. If you saw it coming, they'd be in your front, not your back. Sometimes this is an ending in betrayal, hence getting stabbed in the back. But no matter how you slice this energy, it is an ending here. So I've got either an ending to what you want, or I've got another woman popping up here causing an ending. I do see as the overall energy this idea of I'm not fully happy with what I have and I've got this other person on my mind. So let me clarify this and see what else this is going to tell you here. What's going on with this Queen of Wands, 10 of Swords? Why is that the shared energy between Sagittarius and that person? You cannot make this up. Below the surface of this Queen of Wands, 10 of Swords, the moon. This is Pisces energy. It's fear, worry, and anxiety, usually caused from uncertainty. If you think about when the moon's out, it's dark outside. It's really hard to see your own hand in front of your face, let alone see the full path in front of you. So this is about, I'm not really certain if the path I'm on is the correct path for me or not. I'm not sure if this was the right path for me to begin with or not. I don't know if I should keep going. I don't know if I should turn around and go back the other direction. And just that level of uncertainty is enough to cause fear, worry, and anxiety in a person. The other thing the moon can represent, because when it's dark outside, it's easy for things to be hidden in the dark. It can represent secrets being kept, something being hidden from you, which would make sense if we have another person involved that shouldn't be involved. This would be like trying to keep that a secret. Damn. The High Priestess is right behind that. This is she who knows. This is your intuition. This is signs, synchronicities, gut feelings, a dream that has a message in it. It's some form of internal knowing. When I said here with this Four of Swords, a lot of times that's too much thinking going on, and with all that noise and chatter in your mind, it's really hard to hear your internal guidance system. This is that internal guidance system. Either one of these two cards, the moon or the High Priestess, in and of themselves can represent there's information you don't have. There's something that hasn't been revealed to you yet. I've got both of these right back to back already at the opening of this reading, which is a pretty certain sign that there's something you don't know about. There's something being kept hidden from you. And behind the High Priestess, I have the Five of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. Fives are conflict and change. This is abandonment. It's being cast aside. It's being discarded. It's being left out in the cold, walked away from. This is a breakup kind of an energy here. Behind that is the Eight of Pentacles, which is Virgo energy of work, putting in the work, time, effort, and energy on something to get what I want, or at the minimum being willing to put that work in on it. I don't know if this is saying they've walked away to go work on something else, or if you don't have the facts that you need to support this hunch that you have, this feeling, this internal knowing that you have. But it looks like there has been an abandonment here. And maybe this is your underlying, like, still wanting to or being willing to put the work in on it. Not quite sure yet. When I clarify Queen of Wands, 10 of Swords, I get the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Okay, so this Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love and emotions. I saw that Ace of Cups hanging here in the air on this overall energy of the Four of Cups. I'm not happy being together, and I've got this other person on my mind. Well, this is the other person showing up. It's right here in alignment with this Queen of Wands. Oh, man. The other thing that I'm feeling called to tell you about the Four of Cups is notice they're looking at three cups. Three cups, in addition to representing being together, can also represent a third party being involved, because there are three cups of love in the picture here. And in that case, it could be like, I can't get that other person that you brought into this connection out of my head. Could be why it's telling you calm down, like chill out for a minute. You can't hear your internal guidance system. Now, I got to go back to the High Priestess, because one of the things about intuition is 9 times out of 10, it's going to tell you some shit you don't want to hear. It's going to tell you stuff that you don't want to be true. And when you don't have the facts to support it, it's really hard for most people to listen to their intuition. They'll try to like push it off to the side because A, I can't support it, and B, I don't even want that to be true anyway. So I try to ignore it and like sweep it under the rug. Next, I get the Two of Cups here. So we're advancing from the One of the Cups to the Two. So emotional progress is happening here. And at the same time, there's an ending taking place. So this doesn't feel like emotional progress in terms of the two of you progressing as much as it is this other person. With the Two of Cups, this is a choice. Twos are always choices. So this is a choice about this connection. It can also represent a choice between two different cups. And I have a new cup here. And the cup that I'm already with, not fully happy with that. Final clarifier here is the Five of Wands. This is Leo energy. Fives, again, are conflict. This would be a conflict in desires, an internal conflict where a piece of me wants this and another piece of me wants pretty much the opposite of that. And now I'm torn, I'm conflicted. I'm playing this internal battle of tug of war inside of what it is that I want. This is very like scattered, conflicted kind of an energy here. Man, oh man, this is really looking like I've got a choice between you and this other person that I brought in, this hot queen that I have the attraction for. And now I'm conflicted between which ones do I want. And then there's probably also a conflict from your point of view about, I see this, even though there's been an abandonment or in a breakup, I've got this willingness to put the work in on that. This could be you wanting to make a choice about this connection to fill the cup back up between the two of you, but then also being conflicted about, can we fill it back up or is it over or not? I will freely admit to you at the early stages of these readings, it's not uncommon whatsoever that I don't fully understand exactly what this is trying to tell me yet. This usually doesn't make complete sense to me until I get at least part of the way through your energy, because then I can see how it applies to you. But I will come back to it again as I go through your person's energy, because then I can see how it applies to them. That's the shared energy. For your energy in this connection, Sagittarius, the first card is the most important. We get Page of Cups. Central to your energy is the Devil, and your final card is Death. I did tell you at the beginning to buckle up. Page of Cups. Pages are messengers. Cups are about love and emotions. So this is news and messages and communications about love and emotions, lovey-dovey messages, flirtatious behavior, early stages of like talking lovey-dovey about something. Can represent an apology sometimes. Tell me about this Page of Cups, please. Why is that the first card for Sagittarius in this connection, please? Okay. You come here. Keep these in the right order. Below the surface of this Page of Cups energy, Seven of Cups. This is Scorpio energy of options and choices and confusion about my options and choices. I feel compelled to tell you that many, many times this first card, even though it's your most important card and it's on your side of the table, a lot of times this first card and the whole set of clarifiers that go with it ends up being your person's baggage showing up over here, because whatever they have going on is affecting you so strongly. I think that might be what this is about. This is looking like them communicating with somebody in a lovey-dovey manner and having other options in that regard. The clouds of smoke around the cups can represent someone blowing a smoke screen. In other words, they're trying to obscure your vision so you can't see the other option that they're talking to, so that you can't see this hot queen that's in the mix here, this other person that I've brought in that is causing some kind of a conflict. Yeah, below the surface of that, I have the Devil. Now, I feel compelled to say now that one of the other meanings of the Seven of Cups is these clouds of smoke can represent, there's 7 cups here, which is a lot of emotions involved. And the clouds of smoke can represent my emotions here are clouding my judgment. They're clouding my ability to see things clearly. This is a very confusing, illusionary kind of an energy. It's hard to tell which of these cups is real. It's hard to tell out of all the different cups and all the stuff that's in these cups, which of those things in the cups is real and which isn't real. Very illusionary kind of an energy, and it can also sometimes represent someone being intoxicated and that clouding their judgment as well. I'm saying that because I have the devil in the background, and the devil is the very next card here in your energy. This is Capricorn's major arcana card. This is a heavy toxic energy. It can be an obsession with something. It can be an addiction to something. It can be a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like I can't escape from it, like I don't have any control in the situation. This other thing has control of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Sometimes this will represent an element of someone's shadow or some past pain that they didn't heal from, and now it's turned into like an unconscious thing where instead of listening to the message that the pain delivered, this would usually be someone represses that and pretends like everything's fine. I'm totally fine, and they try to move on without actually healing. Only they're not fine, and that causes some sort of a problem. Notice the chains around their neck, and they're chained to the podium. This is a lot of times a feeling of like there's so much pull to this that I can't seem to break free from it. Could also just be there's some heavy toxic thing in the background running the show. There could be an addiction here. Yeah, I get the Eight of Cups right behind that Pisces energy of emotionally detaching, physically detaching and walking away. I get this card a lot when someone has to go see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence or not. Now, when they find out it's not greener on the other side of the fence, the grass is greener where you water it and nurture it and pour something of yourself into it. When they find out it's not all it was cracked up to be, a lot of times this person will try to come back. Especially if there is some form of a toxic attraction here or toxicity in the connection where maybe you feel like you can't break free from it. This is kind of opening you up for them to come back in, which I know may sound like what you want to hear, but it is not what you want to happen. Not if you want to be really happy, that is. When I clarify this Page of Cups, I get the Fool, the Eight of Swords, the Tower, and the Three of Cups. The Fool is the first card of the major arcana, first card of the entire tarot deck. It is a new beginning at something. It's a new beginning where I don't really know how this is going to work. I don't know what the steps are. I don't know what the end result is going to be. But I'm just going to say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to leap off this cliff and I will figure it out on my way down. I'll figure out how to grow wings while I'm on my way down. I'll figure this out as I go. This can be someone is having some new communications about lovey-dovey stuff with this other person, and now I'm just straight taking the blind leap of faith on that. This card can also represent foolish behavior, foolish decision making, taking unnecessary risks, or even risks outside of a connection. Next, I get the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy. This is being stuck in my head, grinding on something, on this repeating loop in my mind, thinking about it over and over and over again. It's an overthinking energy. I did see Four of Swords in the overall energy, and I said then I get that a lot when someone's been in the Eight of Swords or the Nine of Swords. Here's that grinding in the mental loop thing here. Now notice the person is blindfolded, which means there's some information they don't have. I've seen that from the beginning. This is about not wanting to make a mistake. I don't know all the details. I don't know what I should do. I don't want to step in the wrong spot and make some kind of a mistake. So I'm grinding on it, trying to fill in the blanks, trying to close the open loops so I can know what to do. But it's an energy of feeling stuck and trapped and blocked regarding this new beginning, possibly even having the blindfold on about the new beginning because someone is clouding things up for you. Maybe your own attachment to this is clouding things up. Like I said, when I saw the High Priestess and the Moon, a lot of times that's your intuition telling you shit you don't want to hear. And maybe not seeing that is preventing you from getting unstuck off of this. And maybe you're not even fully aware of that. There is some instruction here to emotionally detach from something for you. Next clarifier for that Page of Cups is the Tower. This is the moment it all comes crashing down. This is the foundation rocking event, the game changer. This is the abrupt shattering of some important structure in your life where it all falls apart. Nothing's ever the same after the tower hits. I'm stuck in my head grinding about the collapse here. And then I get the Three of Cups with that. This is Cancer energy. This has got two distinct meanings. This is either meaning A, being united in celebrating, or reunited in celebrating. In that sense, it can be reconciliation after the collapse of the tower. The other thing the Three of Cups can mean is a third-party love triangle, because we got 3 cups of love in the picture here. I see this idea of 4 of Cups. I'm not fully happy with either the together part of this, and I'm daydreaming about this other person, or I'm not happy that you brought a third party in and I can't quit thinking about that third party. Central for your energy, the Devil. Again, we've already seen this 2 cards deep in the below the surface energy for that page. It's Capricorn, major arcana energy, heavy toxic energy, obsession, addiction, feeling like I can't escape. Notice on this version of the Devil, it's a little different than the Rider-Waite version of the Devil. These are the same 2 people from the Lovers card on the Rider-Waite version, but they've got chains around their neck. They've got horns and tails because they've been in this toxic environment, this distorted energy for so long. It's starting to distort who they are, starting to change them. In this version of the Devil card, that is the Fool in the cage. Your very first clarifier here is the Fool. And notice the chains in this particular card are in the Devil's hand, and they're connected to the cage, not to the Fool himself. And the cage door is wide open. He could just get out and leave anytime he wants, but he's got his face buried in his arm because he's afraid to face the situation that he's in. He doesn't want to look at it. There's always an element of denial with the Devil card, and I've not only have it as your central energy, I've already seen it below the surface here when I clarified your first card. Tell me about the Devil, please. Why is the Devil central energy for Sagittarius, please? You too, huh? Okay. Below the surface of that Devil energy, the Moon. Again, fear, worry, and anxiety from uncertainty. Pisces energy, this can also represent something being hidden in the dark, some secret being kept, something that I don't see. And right behind it is the High Priestess again. You watched me shuffle this how many different times now? I've shuffled it at least twice since we saw this at the very beginning. There's something going on here that you don't know about. Something that hasn't been physically revealed to you yet. You have some intuitive hits about it, some feelings about it. Your internal guidance system is going off. Got that 5 of Pentacles again, abandonment, breakup. Now, when I've got the Devil here, a lot of times this is something unhealed from the past, like some sort of a pain that was never fully addressed and properly healed. I've got abandonment here. That could be abandonment issues of some kind. Maybe you got abandoned in the past and there's some element of that that is creeping back in here. Yeah, there might be that. When I clarify the Devil, I get the Knight of Swords, the Hierophant, the 6 of Cups, and the Hermit. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the deck. This is someone who rushes forward and takes this decisive action on something. The problem with this energy is many times this is someone who doesn't think shit through first. They just rush off and they do it. It's sitting right beside the Fool, just taking the blind leap of faith on something. Unnecessary risks, foolish decision making, foolish behavior. This fits right in line with that. A lot of times this will be the person who just rushes off and does something that they didn't think about first, and then they don't catch up mentally and think about it until after they've already done it, and by then it's too late. This can be very spur of the moment, spontaneous, impulsive, reckless decision making. If that's the case, that might actually be your person, and that might be the thing that's running the show here, is their spontaneity, their impulsiveness, their reckless behavior. Looks like they ran off and did something that started a new beginning based on communicating and stuff like that. But I got the Hierophant next, Taurus major arcana energy. This is a card of commitment. It's about being fully committed to something bigger than yourself. In a relationship reading, this is usually being fully committed to the relationship. This is referred to as a marriage card. It can indicate marriage. It can indicate like going down the path toward that, like trying to take it to the next level. But then I'm stuck in my head grinding in circles about this commitment. Looking like somebody probably did some stupid decision and taking a risk outside of the commitment, and the thinking about it over and over again and having the intuitive hits about it, but also not having the information, and there's that blindfold again. Next clarifier for the devil is the Six of Cups. This is Scorpio energy of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way things used to be between the two of you. It represents a deep emotional connection. It represents history between the two of you. It can also represent something from the past coming back up again, happening again. It can represent that there's history and there's been a period of time where you have been fully committed. This can even represent someone from the past showing back up during this commitment. Now, that someone from the past showing back up, that doesn't necessarily mean someone that they used to be with romantically previously, although it can mean that. Someone from the past just represents that it's not a brand new person. It's someone that there is some form of history with. It wouldn't be like they went out spur of the moment to a bar one night and ran into some brand new person that they've never met before and she was hot and then things happened. This would be someone that there's already a history with, either someone that they were with before or someone that they know already. Either way, the idea of the past and this commitment, that's probably what you're stuck in your head grinding about. But then there's also the Tower involved with that. So this is like the collapse of what there was in the past, the collapse of the history of it, or the collapse of the connection. And now here's me reminiscing about the way it used to be when we were together. Final card here is the Hermit. This is the Virgo Major Arcana card. This is a card of withdrawal, isolation. A lot of times this will represent communication shutting down between the two of you. And if it's not fully shut down, it's probably dramatically different than it used to be. This is a card about soul searching. It's about deep inner reflection, deep contemplation. It's about shining the light of the star down inside the shadows of yourself. Really, it's about having the courage to uncover your eyes and go inside your own shadow looking for this toxic stuff, these pieces of you that need healed that haven't been healed yet. It's about reclaiming the power that's buried in your shadow. This is about looking inside myself for what adjustments do I need to make about me so I can move forward the way I want to. It looks like what we're in here doing soul searching about is either the togetherness aspect of this and maybe the reminiscing about it because I don't have that anymore. Maybe trying to figure out how to get closure. That's another thing that I get the Hermit for a lot, is when someone gets ghosted and the other person just abruptly leaves. I do have bat out of hell kind of energy here with this Knight of Swords and the Fool and the Devil. Sometimes I'll get the Hermit when someone doesn't have closure on a situation here. They don't have closure on the togetherness part of it, or even closure on the third party aspect of it, because there could be things still being hidden in the dark from you, things that you don't fully know about. Final card for you, Sagittarius, is Death. This is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. This is an ending to something. It's something dying, and after the ending, there is a painful transformation process or a painful transition period that happens after the ending. Tell me about Death, please. Why is that the final card for Sagittarius in this connection? No? There's a lot going on below the surface. Like all these cards are trying to get away from me all at once here. Let's get one more on Death, please. Make sure nothing else flipped. Okay. Below the surface of Death, 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy of work. Either putting in the work, time, effort, and energy to get what you want, or still being willing to put the work in on it, even though it's dead. Thing we're trying to put the work in on is Six of Wands. This is Leo energy of recognition. Now, this is an energy of forward movement, successful forward movement, but it's also about recognition. If this is feeling like a spot where it's probably easy to get a little bit confused, because this could be, it's dead, put the work in on it, invest your time, effort, and energy into it so it can move forward successfully. I think that's probably the trap that you're stuck in. The other meaning to Eight of Pentacles and Six of Wands is this is dead. And where you're putting your work, time, effort, and energy into, there is a recognition that you need to come to about that. There's an aha moment in here for you that you need to recognize so that you can move forward the way you want to. And I don't think you have recognized it yet. Two of Swords is right behind it. Libra energy of a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet. The person on the card is blindfolded. That's the second time I've seen a blindfold here. And then I've got the Fool in the cage on this Devil card where he's got his face buried in his arm, so there's something he can't see. And I've seen the High Priestess in the Moon a couple of times. Like I said, the intuition is usually going to tell you shit you don't want to hear, that you don't want to be true. The Two of Swords here, like that blindfold can represent there's information I'm missing. I don't have enough data to be able to make this decision yet, which is probably why it's telling you to recognize something here. The other thing the blindfold can represent is denial. It can represent someone having the blinders on because there's something about this that I don't want to see. And if I did see that and that ended up actually being true, I wouldn't have a decision anymore because the decision would be made for me. So a lot of times this will be someone wearing the blinders to stop themselves from being able to see something that they don't want to be true. But that denial, that avoidance of facing the truth is actually the thing stopping you from making a decision here. Yeah, right behind that is the Moon again. Something is going on that you don't know about. The thing that's being hidden is the Six of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is supposed to be balance. It's supposed to be generosity, reciprocity, like you scratch my back and I'll scratch your back and we'll take care of each other, like equal give and take. It's supposed to be that. So there's this underlying idea of put the work in on it and eventually we'll get to this equal give and take type of an energy. But that's not really what this is saying. It's saying there's something you don't see about that. There's something hidden from you. The other meaning of the Six of Pentacles is that's the Merchant, and he's giving to two people in the physical sense. And notice he's got one hidden behind his back. That's what's being kept hidden, as your person is giving to two people in the physical sense. And when I clarify death, the very first clarifier I get, Ace of Wands, Nine of Cups, King of Cups. Ace of Wands is a new beginning in passion and desire, a passionate new beginning. I've already seen the Ace of Cups, new beginning in love and emotions. It's out here in the shared energy. This is the passion, desire, new beginning. This Ace of Wands is the phallic symbol of the tarot deck. It represents the male you-know-what, using it to do you-know-what, sexual energy, all that fun stuff. That is directly tied to the death of this. It's also directly tied to this Knight of Swords, very fast moving energy where I just did something and I didn't think about it first. I just followed the wand and not my mind. I went ahead and took this blind leap of faith and took a foolish risk. And now it's too late to change it. Next clarifier for death is the Nine of Cups. This is Pisces energy. This is personal happiness and wish fulfillment. It's a step backwards from the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is the happily ever after, the happy fairy tale romance that we all dream about. It's where two people are together emotionally and they're pouring their love into each other equally. And everyone is fully loved and fully happy and fully appreciated. That's everyone's goal in love and relationships. This is a step backwards from that. This is single energy. It's about being emotionally single or emotionally by myself. It can represent that you have personal happiness tied to the idea of commitment with this person. But in that same row with it is you being stuck in your head grinding about something that you haven't actually seen yet. not wanting to make a mistake, not wanting to step in the wrong spot, because there's a commitment and I have all my happiness tied to it. The other way I could take this is because it's tied to the wand and a passionate new beginning, is this could be someone who is smug and self-centered and it's all about me, myself, and I, and then me some more. It can be that person who's really like self-centered, self-indulgent, overindulgent. My happiness is more important than your happiness, and my happiness is tied to my wand, which is more important than you. And that could be why this ended. Final clarifier for death is the King of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. This is a person that you have a lot of love and emotions for. Man, I'll come back to that. It's also someone who doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve. You can see the King of Cups, his face is completely emotionless. Meanwhile, the water around his feet, representing emotions, is all rough and choppy, which means rough, choppy emotions, emotional turmoil. So this could be someone who loves you and you don't really know because they don't express that. It could be someone who's going through emotional turmoil of some kind and you don't really know that either because they don't express it. It's tied to this energy of the past and the reminiscing and the deep emotional connection that you feel and the way things used to be. The part that I said under my breath that I would come back to is your very first card is the Page of Cups. And the very last card here for you is the King of Cups. A lot of times, especially when I've seen cards that indicate emotions could be clouding judgment, I've seen the devil more than once. I've got this idea of the moon, the high priestess below the surface, trying to clue you in on something that you haven't seen. A lot of times this will represent I'm actually dealing with the page, the lowest form of the court card, the not fully emotionally developed, not fully emotionally mature type of a person. In other words, the little boy version of the man that you think you have, or that you hope that you have, or maybe that you wish you had. This a lot of times will be the person I'm reading for is giving the other person the credit of being the King of Cups, when in reality they're not quite that. This is usually I'm giving you more credit than you're actually deserving of, probably based on the history, the depth of the feelings that I have here. It's in the same row with the Tower. So if this is real King of Cups, I don't believe Tower would be in the mix there. I don't believe, well, we have this incomplete row here where you're probably doing soul searching about being reunited, but you might also be doing soul searching about the third cup of love being involved. And then there's a hole in the information. And the only thing above the hole is how you feel about them. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down without it offending you, because that's not my intention. My intention is to lay it all out here bare and give you the truth of what I'm seeing and feeling as I do this, so that you can make the best decision available for yourself for your own greatest good. Let's take a look at your person's energy here. It's probably where you're going to find out what you want to know. Very first card is the most important card. They got the Seven of Swords central to their energy, Ace of Cups, and their final card is the Eight of Wands and the Star. Seven of Swords is Aquarius energy. This is lying, cheating, stealing, deception, sneaking around behind your back, trying to get away with something. Tell me more about the Seven of Swords, please. Why is that the first card for Sagittarius' person's interest? Okay, so we're going to take some extra cards. Oh man, we got 3 extra cards. Normally I get 3 clarifiers. I just got 6 here. Clearly this is an important thing. Below the surface of the Seven of Swords, the Devil, Capricorn energy, heavy toxic energy, obsession, addiction. Something else is running the show. This is not a person who's in control of themselves. Something else is running the show. It would not surprise me one bit if what's really running the show is their wand and their own personal jollies and their own personal happiness. that being tied to the wand, which is probably why they do this reckless, stupid shit that they do. Yeah, Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy again. Twos are choices. This is a choice about these two physical things, and I can't have both of them at the same time. So this is me being forced to choose and look at the options in front of me. Weigh the options, weigh the pros and the cons. This one or that one. Do I want the new cup, or do I still want the person that I have a commitment with? It's a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of an energy, not fully committed either direction, going back and forth on something. The other meaning to that is it can represent someone who's juggling two people. You can't make it up. 7 of Swords right behind it. I'm clarifying 7 of Swords right now, and I get it again. Something else is running the show. I'm juggling two people. I'm sneaking around, lying and deceiving. 7 of Cups. I've got other options and choices, and I'm blowing a big smoke screen here to prevent you from seeing that I have other options and choices. I'm already doing something about these options. I just don't want you to find out. When I clarify 7 of Swords, I get the Sun, 8 of Cups, Queen of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, 3 of Swords. Damn. The Sun is Leo Major Arcana energy. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. Very difficult to get a better card than the Sun when that's what it's talking about. And if that's what it's talking about, their happiness is tied to the idea of sneaking around and being deceptive. Their happiness is tied to something that underlying the surface of it is toxic. The other thing that the Sun can mean is it's the card that comes immediately after the moon in the sequence of the cards. So like we've said, when the moon's out, it's dark outside. I can't see things. Things are hidden from me. There's a secret being kept. Well, the next step is the sun comes up and now it's not dark anymore. And then the light gets shined on all that stuff that was hidden from me. And now I can see it. It gets exposed and illuminated and I can see it. Right across the aisle from it here in the same row is that Ace of Wands. So 2 different directions. I've got personal happiness tied to the wand. And over here on this side, I've got the happiest card in the deck tied to the wand. Happiness is not only tied to the wand, it's tied to this ability to just get up and run whenever I want to and do foolish stuff, take risks outside the connection. Oh man. Next, I get the 8 of Cups. This is, again, Pisces energy of emotionally detaching, physically detaching and walking away. I got to go see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. My personal jollies are that direction. Notice the person on the card is walking this direction away from your energy, away from this commitment. Next, I have Queen of Swords, Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. She's about discernment and being able to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Being able to tell the difference between truth and lies. Being able to tell the difference between right and wrong. She's about facing the truth and speaking the truth and then cutting off the thing or the person that isn't in your best interest anymore. A lot of times this will be an element of like we're having this difficult conversation where truth gets spoken. There might be some harsh words said, but ultimately there is a severing that takes place after that energy. I've got your emotions over here on this side with the Tower. How you feel about them, how you feel about the history of this commitment. And then I've got a severing taking place on this side after some emotional distancing taking place. Next, I get 10 of Pentacles. So it looks like the thing getting severed is this Virgo energy of combining lives together, building a life together. I get this card a lot for people when they are married, when they live together, when they're going down that kind of a path of either having lives already combined together or going in that direction with it. Again, in this same row, I've got the idea of getting back together and doing soul searching, or being together and doing soul searching, and this combined together life here that looks like it has been severed. Next clarifier for that Seven of Swords is the Two of Wands. This is Aries energy. Again, it's a choice. This is a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in this relationship, a crossroads in their life. It's a decision point for them about what is it I want my life to be like, and which of these two paths is going to get me to what I want, and which path do I have to leave behind. Well, it's looking like they've made their mind up. They're walking away to go see if the grass is greener. There's a speaking of truth and severing of this combined together life. Looks like they've made the choice here. I get Three of Swords next, Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness, usually from a third energy. Now, the third energy is not always romantic third party, although it definitely can be. I got Queen of Wands here, the hot queen that I'm attracted to, causing an ending. I've got the Ace of Cups, a new beginning, a choice between connections, internal conflict. I've got plenty of indicators that there's another person here. Could be external person is causing a problem. It could be this heavy toxic energy about something from their past they haven't healed from is flaring up. Central for your person's energy is the Ace of Cups, a new beginning in love and emotions. Tell me about this Ace of Cups, please. Why is the Ace of Cups central for Sagittarius' person of interest? Come here. Okay, below the surface of that, Six of Wands, Leo energy of recognition. This is probably them getting recognized for having a new cup of love, or them getting this new cup of love is causing them to have some sort of a recognition that's going to have forward movement behind it. They're recognizing where they want to invest their time, effort, and energy and work. And they're keeping it hidden from you. The Moon again. Secrets being kept. I'm putting in work to keep secrets so I don't get recognized for having the new cup of love. So I don't get recognized, so I can keep it secret that I've got Six Pentacles back here. The Merchant giving to two people in the physical sense, hiding one behind his back. This is the one they're hiding behind their back. It's this Queen of Wands here, this person they have attraction for. When I clarify Ace of Cups, I get Two of Swords, Nine of Wands, Eight of Wands, Four of Wands. Notice the pattern there. We're going backwards. Seven of Pentacles. Two of Swords, we've seen it before, Libra energy, a decision that they need to make that they haven't made yet. Like I said, sometimes it's because they don't have enough information. I don't believe that for a minute. Sometimes it's they've got the blinders on. There's something they don't want to see. Sometimes that's just a stubborn ass energy. Like, look at the card. The lady is trying to decide between those two swords, but she's blindfolded and she can't see what she's doing. Why doesn't she just lay one of the fucking swords down and take the damn blindfold off, and then she'd be able to make an easy decision? But she's being stubborn and she's not doing that. So sometimes that can reference that this person has you and they have this new cup, and I'm just choosing not to decide. It hasn't been seen yet, so why do I need to decide? I can just keep sneaking around with this new cup, and I don't need to make a decision until you find out what's really going on. I think that's the wall they're hiding behind. I think that's their defense mechanism. This Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy. It's an energy of, it's the wounded warrior. He's been hurt, hence the wall he's built around himself. But that wall is a defense mechanism. It's his way of protecting himself so he doesn't get hurt. It can be the barrier that's in the way. Walls are up. Emotionally, they have detached at this point. They just haven't made the decision because at this point, they didn't need to make the decision yet. Now we're going backwards from Nine of Wands to Eight of Wands, still Sagittarius energy, but notice how we're decreasing energy. This is regressing and not progressing here. This is rapid back and forth passionate communications happening. This can be travel over distance. This can be rapid forward movement or progress on something there's a lot of passion and desire for, which I definitely see that here with Queen of Wands leading to Ten of Swords ending. A lot of times this is just so much happening really fast, like all at once, that it's too much to process, too much to deal with. There's too much truth coming out here. This could also be you seeing the truth of some communications that were happening. Next, I get the Four of Wands. So here we started going backwards by 1, and now we're cutting it in half, going from 8 down to 4. This is Aries energy of stability, stability of the home, stability of the family, stability of the connection between the two of you. It's sitting directly beside 10 of Pentacles. To me, like, I got 3 cards out here that can indicate either we're married or we're fully committed to each other and probably live together. I got the Hierophant out here, a marriage card. I've got the Four of Wands out here, celebration of home and family, can be a marriage card. I've got 10 of Pentacles, combined together life, building a life together. And there's some massive forward movement here related to passion and desire in that regard. And then I've got 7 of Pentacles, Taurus energy. This is a period of time. Sometimes it's a period of time where they pause and reflect and take stock of this connection, take stock of this situation. And it's them trying to decide, is this ever going to turn into what I really want? Should I continue investing my time, effort, and energy into this? Or is this a spot where it's not going to pan out the way I want? Maybe it's time for me to cut my losses and move on. It's sitting right beside the Two of Wands, that choice about what do I want my life to be like. So it could be a period of time where they've been contemplating that. Can also reference a period of time where seeds have already been planted on something and I can't harvest it yet. I'm still waiting on it to fully develop and pan out so I can get something. Like, think about if you go plant an apple seed right now, you're not going to wake up in the morning with apples. It doesn't work that way. There's a big lag time. The damn tree has to grow and fully develop and blossom and ripen the fruit, and then you can harvest it. So this can represent there's something that they want with this new cup of love, and there's just been a period of time waiting on that to pan out. I think this is probably them being in a period of time where they weren't fully happy with something. And they've had this other cup on their mind for a while. Final card for your person, Sagittarius, we get the Eight of Wands and the Star. We've already seen that Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, rapid forward movement or progress on something passion, desire related. And then the Star is the Aquarius major arcana card. This is hope, healing, wish fulfillment. Okay, this is also the card that comes right after the Tower in the sequence of the major arcana. So you don't make it to the Star energy without going through a Tower moment of some kind first. The Tower usually represents the collapse of the old, and that's on your side. And the Star is usually the hope about the new, the hope about the future moving forward from here, the hope that I can move forward and make rapid progress on this thing that I want, that I've probably been waiting for a period of time. Tell me about Eight of Wands and the Star, please. You can't make this shit up. I swear I wish I could make this up. I would move to Hollywood and I would write screenplays and I would be loaded rich and life would be awesome. Not like it's not already, but it would be way awesomer, more awesome if I had a whole shit ton of money. Below the surface of this Eight of Wands Star energy, I get the Eight of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy, putting in the work, time, effort, and energy to get what I want. Six of Pentacles, the Merchant giving to 2. That's what they've been putting their work in on. Given to the one that's behind their back here. Six of Wands, successful forward movement. This is either them recognizing something that allows forward movement to happen toward what they were wanting to put work in on, or this is them finally getting recognized for putting in work with someone else. When I clarify Eight of Wands in the Star, I get Temperance, Three of Wands, Seven of Wands. Temperance is your major arcana card, Sagittarius. I did just reference a second ago a period of time where they've been waiting on this thing to pan out, and then I get this Three of Wands. Now, this is an energy of waiting. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Temperance, this is a card of patience. It's about being willing to do things little bits at a time and make fine-tuning adjustments along the way to make sure it turns out just right. This is a card about blending two things together to make something new. I don't think it's something new with you. I've got the past over here on this side, the past commitment, the collapse of the past. This is them combining together with the new. I've got the hope about the future, the hope about the new, where I'm moving forward here. This is also an energy of recalibration. I get this a lot when something is really out of whack, and this is a sign that it needs readjusted and recalibrated and rebalanced. There's this happiness here. Their happiness is in that row. Something about their happiness needs recalibrated, and either they don't see it or they're in denial about it. Next clarifier for Eight of Wands in the star is the Three of Wands, Aries energy. This is the step that comes after this Two of Wands that's out here, that decision point about what do I want my life to be like. Well, here, I've already made that decision. I've already started down the path. I'm taking actions trying to get this thing that I want. And I have the positive expectancy that the thing I want's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. And I'm just waiting on it to materialize. And I'm being patient about that. There's this emotional detaching and their walls coming up while they wait. Final clarifier for your person, Sagittarius, Seven of Wands, Leo energy, defensiveness. We already saw this, 3 cards deep in the overall energy. Defensiveness, and then there's that decision that I need to make that I haven't made yet, which is out here in their center column as the first clarifier. There's a decision about you and the new cup, and they're conflicted about it. Next card deep, Two of Cups again. The decision about the connection with you, the decision about which one of these two people do I want. Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. This is supposed to be teamwork, collaboration, working together as equals to build something of value. This is laying the foundations for the Ten of Pentacles, the combined together life. But notice in this deck, there's only one person on the card doing all the work by themselves. That's you trying to do this we and us thing without their involvement, without their participation. They're not in it the same way that you are. And this is them being defensive about something, defending their position, defending whatever it is that they're waiting on, defending what they have the hope for. It's sitting right beside Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is in this column. Queen of Swords is even in the same row. When I get these two cards that close together, this is almost always where you're calling them out on their bullshit. You're asking difficult questions, and this is them going, no, I'm not doing that. No, being defensive about it. Defending against accusations, defending against the truth coming out. Man, oh man, oh man. I think this person has had a choice about what they want for a period of time. There's been stability between the two of you, and I don't think they have been happy for a period of time. The only card on their side that has nothing to go with it is the Three of Swords, the heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. I do see an internal conflict here about this choice between you and the new cup, but ultimately this shared energy kind of says it all. The other woman showing up, the person that they have the passion, desire, and attraction for, is what ultimately puts this to an end.